Electrics aren't exactly TP's forte, as the following stories will show. Little Dirty has told me that when you were working on a CRT, you sort of forgot to connect the nail on an alternator. The alternator then decides to earth itself through the engine. A lot of sparks are produced out of the fuel pipes. The CBR wasn't diesel, it was petrol. How the fuck you never blew up the whole tube is anybody's guess. Well, the engine wasn't quite so lucky. When we had the big push on the OTEC fleet, TP manages to condemn a starter motor. Fuck all wrong with it.
Oh, fucking hell.
He just tried to bench test it with a flat battery.
Tony! They were on a desk for a fucking reason!
One day, he decides he wants to become a PTI. He goes down to the shop. He's back the next day. How can you fail then? Even a fat cunt like me can pass that part of the TFC. I know, I've done it on Friday. No, I think I did. Well, it's going to happen to anyone. It will inevitably happen to TP. As he was driving down to Aldershot, his car breaks down. That is fun. He had to push his car 7 miles to the nearest garage.
Half mile.
7 miles.
Then the owner gave him the keys to his garage and said, put them in the letterbox when you're finished. All night he grafted on his car to get to Aldershot. Poor Mike's harvest were killing him. On top of that, the instructor hated Raby and told him before that, he was going to fail. This, of course, had nothing to do with the fact that when old Noodle Arms done a PFT with Scotty from the gym, he failed it on. Yeah, press-ups. How can anything be mentioned about PT and Tony without mentioning that he has the gayest black body condom ever? It's even gayer than a mannequin. How can you even hope to take anyone serious when dressed like that? Especially someone taking you for a run. On his way back to Blighty from Iraq, they stopped in Qatar. TP then starts to explain to an assembly of Yanks that the British Army had a competition. He who could field strip an SA-80. Naturally, he won the competition. They wish for a demonstration. Quick as a flash, the CMH comes off his rifle. Swiftly followed by the recoil for him flying 50 foot. I'm sure the mobile phone footage is still doing the rounds. Out in Canada, I met a good friend of mine from years back, called Jenny. There was a couple of times, years ago, that she came on to me. Yes, I was a lot more slender back then. No, I was in a relationship and politely turned her down every time. Since then, she's piled on the weight, seriously. A bit like
Still
me.
sniffing.
TP here goes steaming in there like a rhino on heat. Each time she turned him down. Tony, how does it feel knowing that a lass would rather sleep with a drunken bald fat fuck like me rather than you? She even slept with Hannibal in Canada. She told me that.
How many plates you got left?
A few years back, I needed to buy a new fridge. I thought I was being extravagant when I bought a combined fridge freezer. Tony's fridge puts mine to shame. 4 types of ice is made. I only think of one type. Frozen water. I suppose you can have dry ice, but wouldn't want that in a fridge. Didn't even bother finding out if it would fit into his kitchen. So one weekend, TP gets busy in the kitchen with a saw chopping the place up. It's going to be an interesting handover. It is, yeah. Talking about electrical gadgets, you managed to get a washing machine that needs to be reprogrammed every few months with a laptop. How fucking cool is that? If you want to buy TP a present for Christmas, do not, I repeat, do not buy him a puppy. In all fairness though, as anyone that Tony has worked with will tell you, he really is a hard grafter. And I mean this, he really is a hard grafter. He was always the first one in the section in cubbies and straight out on the shop floor. This work ethic has carried on regardless whether he's been working in the section, down the armoury with Fletch and Whitey, or whether he's been working in G10. Morale has always been high when you've been around, it really has, and your own morale is usually very high. You know, and you can't fault you on that. He's also willing to do anything for you, whether that is actually work related or as a favour. I'm sure he will carry on this same ethic into City Street and will please his employers. I wish you and your missus the best in City Street and the best of luck with work.
Cheers, mate.